So this is Alex Karp, the CEO of Palantir. And Palantir, for those of you who don't know, is a massive organization. It helps governments, corporations, militaries analyze data to be more effective in what they do. And it also turns out that he's very pro-Israel. I believe his father's Jewish, mother from Africa, interestingly. And he's supported work that combats anti-Semitism. And I think his organization helps the IDF to be more effective. And God bless him for that. And God bless his organization for that. And here he is confronted by a protester, an anti-Israel protester. Not even to call them pro-Palestine. They're anti-Israel. They're not actually interested in Palestinian state or anything like that. And we know that so clearly. There's so much evidence to suggest that. The Palestinian cause itself is fundamentally cynical, fundamentally based on trying to destroy the Jews and the Jewish state. It's not about their own concern. We can go into that another time. And in fact, I'll show you a trailer at the end of this for one of our documentaries that explains that all to you, the invention of the Palestinians. And as Yohai Sponder, Israeli comedian that I saw recently put it, he said, they don't care about genocide, they just care about the side of the geno. Which is completely true. You know, when Hamas go into Israel, they celebrated on October 8th, or they denied it, or they did a mix of both. When they call for ceasefire, but then when Iran or the Houthis start hitting Israel, they celebrate. So it's all completely ridiculous. I've no doubt there are some people who are ignorant and genuinely care, but they've been misled and misguided. What Israel's doing is just. And here he is confronted by this protester, and he gives a very stern and firm response. Have a watch.
That a few people get wealthy, and if you said platitudes that were obviously stupid, you could...
You're getting wealthy off of killing Palestinians. With Palantir kills Palestinians with their AI and technology.
Oh.
You're killing my family in Palestine.
Yeah. And, you know...
How do you sleep at night?
Well, if you...
Shame on you.
Do you want to hear my answer?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So, I think the primary cause of death to Palestinians... Okay, do you want to hear the answer, or do you want to yell? Well, you don't want to hear an answer? Obviously. So the primary source of death in Palestine is the fact that Hamas has realized that there are millions and millions of useful idiots that will...
Can we get security up there?
Okay. One of the most... Okay.
How dare you? Your AI and your technology from Palantir kills Palestinians!
Mostly terrorists, that's true.
No, it's not everybody. If you say mostly, so it's okay to kill
Okay. Look, if your argument was so strong, wouldn't you let me talk? It's so strong. It's so strong. It's so strong. Your argument is... Okay. That's... Thank you for...
Anyone else who supports this technology and AI to kill Palestinians.
If your argument was so strong, you'd let me talk.
You don't deserve a platform.
If your argument was... By the way, just as an ipso facto thing in my book, if you have an argument... thank you.
Ma'am, I think we've heard you. I think we've heard you.
Shame on all of you.
Okay.
For supporting a genocide. Shame on all of you. You
Yeah.
are sick. You support a genocide. When of course because brown people...
I think you came to the wrong event.
Okay. It's... Well, no, the yeah. How about, like, okay, if anything,
Okay, have a great day.
One of the most important things, first of all, I really support free speech. So the part where you get up and say what you think, I'm 100% on your side. Like, if you want to come in here and accuse us of doing bad things, regurgitate where I'm a sick, bad person who's doing it for power, and I'm enjoying watching people suffer. Okay, great. I 100% support her right to say that. But the thing on our side that we have to fight for is we have to fight for a right to discuss and say our side of this or my side of this. And like one of the most important things about the book, which you may not want to read, is you don't need to read, is if your argument is that strong, why will you not let the other side talk? And there, it's like obviously, if the argument was as simple, and by the way, the pain of Palestinians is something that everybody, and anyone who dies in war, obviously people care about, I care about that. The obvious solution to war is to have the West having the strongest, most precise, deadly weapons possible so that we can minimize unnecessary innocent deaths. And by the way, the primary way you minimize these deaths is you're so strong no one attacks you. And that's how you actually do it. Now, there are many sides to this debate, but, you know, one of the things that's really frustrating in the West, honestly, is I kind of call it, I spent a lot of my life in Germany. I'm kind of pro-German culture, especially where it actually works, which you could argue in many ways it's not. But it's like what I would call probably incorrectly, the greenification of our society, which is, you know, we kind of all support something like climate. I think most people support regulated immigration. You have 20% of your society in Germany who are just radical to the point where the ideas make no sense, but they 100% believe, and then they end up controlling the policies of the whole society. And the responsibility we have who want pragmatic, real-world solutions, like, of course, wars lead to innocent deaths. What do you do to minimize the death? Why did October 7th also include how were there security lapses? You know, these are really important questions. Could it be done better? How would you do it better? What is America's role? Who do we sell to? Under what conditions? Who controls the technology? Does America control the products we produce? At what point, if we're going to have generalized deadly AI, does the government have a responsibility to control who owns it, who runs it, what is it used for? Is there a sense in which you have to be politically and culturally aligned? Can you have a discursive discussion? These are all completely legitimate topics. But if we who disagree with being shouted at do not stand up and say, you know, fuck it, we got to fight back, at least talk about and force discursive discussion, they will win. And by the way, it's not that there's not anything legitimate in what they're saying. It's like they take it to an extreme where it's obviously absurd. And by the way, and where it's very much linked to, you know, what happened in the Valley, I believe, she believes I'm evil. I believe she's an unwitting product of an evil force, Hamas. That she unwittingly is part of their strategy, that she is a product. And the most important thing, arguably, in the book or what Palantir or what you could learn is do not become a product of an ideology that sounds sensible. Because the minute you become a product of that ideology, you will be weaponized. And like the consumer internet version is we become more divided and less smart and less happy. The political version of it is you won't let anyone provide a different opinion because, of course, that person has to be evil. And the opinion that is actually probably less productized is more nuanced. And then, quite frankly, because you also probably have to make implicitly adopt an ethical hierarchy. So the hierarchy of my book and our company is the West is superior. It's simply superior because we can have this discussion. She can yell, I can respond, and we have to fight to make sure that breaks down. And then the other part of that I actually think is, and the thing that scares people about AI is scary, which is that it can be abused. It will give great powers, much more power than they otherwise would have without it, and it will lead to a hierarchical disparity, which will lead to how the world is governed, which is why we have to win this in America. Because if, in fact, another great power gets this technology and has the ability to more or less precisely target, more efficiently target, more accurately use actual devices that currently work, which is like hardware, software, hybrid devices, they will define the world order. And that world order is going to look like the person doesn't get to speak or they only get to speak. And that's what I do not want. And that actually is what we'd have to fight for.
And Alex, if I could just add something, in cases like this, in the freedom of this country, you're attacking the U.S. government. People vote with their feet.
What is happening in Gaza is a disaster, and you are responsible, Palantir.
People vote with their feet. In the freedom of this country, these protesters are using our democracy to attack our system of government, and we support their freedom of expression. But it's important to remember that the freedoms they enjoy here, they would never be able to cause this circus in Gaza. And so it's important to keep that in mind.
The Palestinians. We have been told they are an ancient people fighting for their homeland which has been stolen from them. This narrative has fueled decades of conflict, painting Israel as an occupier of stolen land. But what if this identity is not of an ancient nation, but a modern, cynical invention? A political construct designed not to build a state, but to dismantle the Jewish one. In this JTV Plus documentary, we're going to uncover the truth behind the creation of the Palestinian identity, how it was forged in the fires of pan-Arabism, absent in historical records until strategically rebranded in the 1960s by leaders like Egyptian-born Yasser Arafat to rally global opposition against Israel. We'll trace its roots from the Ottoman era, where Palestine was a region without a distinct people, through the pre-1948 years of Arab rejectionism, before focusing on the pivotal shift of the 1960s, when Arafat declared we should now be known as Palestinians, inventing symbols like the flag to mask genocidal aims. This wasn't about self-determination, it was about exploiting refugees, suppressing true aspirations under Arab rule, and perpetuating a war to destroy Israel. Join us as we debunk the myths of an ancient Palestinian nation, expose the strategic manipulation, and reveal how this construct has hindered peace while fueling hate. Fair but firm, this is the story of an identity weaponized not for building a future, but for erasing one. To watch this JTV Plus documentary and access much more premium content, click on the link in the video description.